After you're done with the 4 missions, you return to the dojo one last time, where Otori gives you a new sword in exchange for the MacGuffin blade. You meet Mariko for one last time, and before you leave, this.
You take care, Scott-san, okay? Keep this with you, Scott. It's my lucky charm. I know you don't believe in such a things, but it will protect you. Miyu is a lucky woman. What girl doesn't dream of having a true warrior to protect her?
So, it's implied that she has a crush on Scott. And by the way, this is really important, don't forget it.
Hello, Scott-san. We meet at last.
Who the fuck are you? No, seriously, who is this guy?
Surprise?
Wait, he's the guy who's fucking everything up? The guy that these guys wanted me to get rid of? Where the fuck did he come from?
Okay, in case you missed it, here's what happened.
Before Ryuichi gets axed up, he mentions how his boss, the elusive Tokai-sama, will destroy the old Yakuza order and take over as its sole ruler. However, when you save Matsubara and do all the missions for the members of the Sanrokai, that is these guys, and fucked up his plans, Tokai decided to take matters into his own hands by going to the American Club and facing Scott personally. And then Harry pulls a gun on you and punches your lights out.
Oh, you know, Scott can take 1,000,000 bullet wounds and slices to the chest, but one punch from Harry and he's out. Beautiful.
And how can one punch from Harry knock Scott silly, and yet he can take Dozan's punches like he's Adonis Creed?
Are you going to talk?
No, you idiot! Don't you know that Scott's a silent protagonist?
Wait, they didn't even tie him down? These criminals suck! Really? You fight him using a wooden sword and actually win? These guys are fucking amateurs!
I am just a stupid baka!
So, because of Dozan's ineptitude, you escape and make your way through the level, which turns out to be the basement of the American Club, which I guess is kinda cool. Make your way up to the main office where you face off against Harry in a sword fight, and promptly kick his ass.
Whoa. Don't kill me, please. Getting crazy.
He tells you that Tokai has kidnapped the Sanrokai and has ordered a group of
new wave ninjas
to attack Otori's dojo to retrieve the MacGuffin blade, and it's up to you to stop them.
Have a look behind.
So Scott rushes over to the dojo and finds it has been overrun by ninjas. Now, okay, this is more like it. Shooting ninjas in a traditional Japanese building? This is the shit I expected from a game called Red Steel. It's just a shame you had to play about 8 hours to get here. After meeting with Otori, you're tasked with finding his daughter Mariko and securing the MacGuffin blade. Unfortunately, you don't make it in time, as the blade is stolen and Mariko is poisoned. And remember that really important thing I told you to remember? Yeah, that thing about her having a crush on Scott? Well, that's supposed to be relevant now because you're supposed to care deeply for her being near death.
Why do I care so deeply about this character I barely even met?
Mariko! Oh, 娘よ! 一体何をされたのだ?
Hey, don't blame me. She was the one who fell in love with Scott.
So Scott somehow manages to find the location of the Komori hideout. But I guess it wasn't that hard considering how their headquarters is a giant fucking castle. Man, listen to that music!
In fact, the music is one of the more memorable aspects of this game.
The car mechanics has a sort of hip-hop vibe going. The game show level has some very unsettling carnival music. And these later stages have some intense Japanese-style music. The music in each level matches the environment and enhances its enjoyability. However, if there is one flaw with the music, it's this. The music changes between shootouts and idle stages. That's fine, but sometimes the changes can be quite jarring. But overall, this game is pretty solid in the music department. Well, except for this one song.
Can't tell if it's so bad it's good or just plain annoying. But then again, I digress.
Hear me, I'm dreaming. Could I just once trust my men to kill one gaijin when I ask? No. Obviously, I must do everything myself.
So, in what feels like the finale, you face off against Tokai, where he reveals some last-minute plot details, like every other poorly written villain.
How can you fight for the Sanrokai? Those greedy pigs plotted against my father to take his power. They had him executed with his own sword. Yes, the katana giri. Honor required that I would avenge my father and kill his murderers with the very same blade they used on him. I will do this, and a new era will begin for the clan. My father's name will finally be redeemed. What? Damn you. So you think it all ends here? Take the sword if you want. You know I can get it whenever I want to. As long as I have your girlfriend, the game isn't over.
Oh gee, thanks. That means I have more game to look forward to.
Immediately, you face off against the ninja and Tokai escapes. Beat the ninja, shoot some more ninjas, fight another ninja, shoot even more ninjas, fight a third ninja, and then you fight Tokai one last time.
Got close to this girl Naruto, didn't you? A mistake.
Oh god damn it!
So, you fight a fourth ninja, presumably the Komori leader, and Tokai escapes again.
Oh, by the way, this is the guy who poisoned Mariko, you know, the girl from earlier on. So you're supposed to be really pissed off at him. Personally, I couldn't give a damn.
In this fight, they introduce a game mechanic that has never been in the game and will never come up again. Poison blades. Basically, you just have to avoid getting hit, and you have to break his sword.
But at this stage, what's the point? You know you're close to the end of the game, so why are they introducing this new game mechanic now? They should have taken this mechanic and added it to some of the earlier fights. That would have made the game a bit more interesting and varied. What a waste. But I digress.
To finish this level off, Matsubara gives you more exposition to further explain Tokai's motives.
Never did I suspect Tokai's origin, and I can understand how his filial respect would drive his thirst for vengeance. However, Tokai's father deserved his punishment. Even he knew this before he died.
But tell me, why couldn't they have told you this earlier? This story is paced as if new plot elements were written up halfway during production.
And for the most part, it seems like an interesting story. Not a great story per se, but at least something that would give this game a semblance of a functioning plot. But throughout this whole game, you're left in the dark as to Tokai's motives. Heck, the game didn't even start with Tokai as the main villain. It sets up Ryuichi as the guy you'll be ultimately facing off against. But no! He's axed off in the first act of the game, with little to no backstory, and then replaced with Tokai, who we equally don't care about. And the Sanrokai doesn't help, because all they say is,
This Tokai, dog that he is doing everything he can to destroy the harmony we created.
It's not until this part of the game, 10 hours in, do we finally get some backstory on Tokai and why he wants to take over the Yakuza Underground. But even then, his motives don't go beyond...
Tokai's father deserved his punishment. Even he knew this before he died.
What punishment? What did he do to deserve it? I care less about the villain in this game than I do for Scott. And besides, Scott doesn't care about all this Yakuza infighting. All he wants to do is get his fiancée back. So, not even the main protagonist cares about the plot of this game. Now that is some shitty storytelling.
So, in what feels like the most drawn-out ending to a shitty game, you trace Tokai to his private residence, I think. Otori joins you to get revenge for his daughter, and this is probably the shortest level in the game. And thankfully so. I'm ready to finish Tokai off once and for all, get my fiancé back, and end this miserable game. Shoot your way through some ninjas and the same copy-paste Yakuza enemies until you reach Otori, who's been poisoned by the same stuff his daughter is, and yet can somehow still put up a fight. Once you reach the end, Tokai takes Miyu hostage, and you come in to fight him one last time. And yet the game forces you to spare him because plot.
You know that Otori is wounded. The poisons designed by the Komori are horribly efficient. So, listen, your friend can still be saved. If someone gives him the antidote to the poison. I have the antidote, Scott. I am the only one who does. Kill me, and you gain nothing. Kill me, and Otori dies. Think about it.
So yeah, he's the only guy in the world with the antidote to the poison afflicting both Otori and his daughter. But driven by vengeance, Otori wants to kill him right away. And this leads to the final fight of the game, a one-on-one with Otori, with the objective being to destroy the troublesome Sword of 1,000 MacGuffins. Something I actually failed at doing. This gave me the bad ending.
At last you die, dog! I will see you in hell, Otori.
All this trouble, all this pain, it's because of this cursed blade, our Katanagiri. At least it is over. Mariko is avenged. Mariko!
Scott, oh Scott, let's go. Let's get away from this cursed place, please.
Now this is strange because when I was replaying the game to get the footage, I didn't realize what was going on at first. I remembered playing this game 10 years ago and getting a different ending. It wasn't until later I found out there are actually two endings to this game, depending on whether or not you succeeded in that last segment. Now, I would go back and record footage of the good ending, but the game didn't allow me to easily because in order to get the cutscene for the good ending, you had to progress through the story mode of the game rather than just replaying the level. So, I did what any good resourceful game reviewer on the internet would do. I just found some footage online and put it in my video.
And lo and behold, this was the ending I remember seeing all those years ago.
Maybe I taught you too well, and you win. And your humanity honors you. Now, the katana is broken. Perhaps that was its fate all along. But Scott, do you really think that Tokai deserves to live?
We have enough death around our clan. Tokai too has been a puppet, dancing on the strings of the conflicts our elders created. It must end now. Keep your promise, Tokai. Where is the antidote?
What if I let him die? You will have lost everything.
I know that by giving this power to my enemy, I make a step towards reason and peace, Tokai-sama. Where is the antidote?
I'll take you to it.
I have lost a true friend, a brother. But thanks to you, Scott, his memory will be honored and peace has been restored to the Sato clan. As for myself, without your help, I would be dead, struck down by the same hatred that poisoned Tokai's soul. This useless violence that led me to forget even my most beloved, my daughter Mariko. Men are fools, and violence cannot be our master. That I learned from you, Scott. It was not Tokai's antidote that saved Mariko and me. It was your wisdom that cured us all. I don't know what we will do with Tokai yet. He will certainly need to pay for what he has done. But we will try to act as wisely as you did, so that we do not breed new demons to haunt us, now that the old ones have been slain. Arigato. Domo arigato, Scott.
Now, let's talk about this double ending for a second. I understand giving a game multiple endings gives you incentive to replay it so that you can see the different endings. And many games do this well, like say the Fallout series or the Mass Effect series. Those games had different endings depending on your play style, and it incentivized you to replay it. Red Steel, on the other hand, it has nothing except this one segment at the end, and even then, it all comes down to whether you succeeded or failed. It has no incentive whatsoever for you to replay it, because this game sucks. Why would you want to go through that trouble to see the other ending? No, you just simply don't. And it's not like your playstyle would affect the ending either. It's not like Dishonored. See, in Dishonored, you kill more people, you get the bad ending. You kill less people, you get the good ending. Simple as that. Red Steel doesn't have that. This ending feels tacked on and unnecessary.
And I'm glad it's over. Look, I even have a 101% completion rate. Don't ask me how that's possible.
So in conclusion, Red Steel is a mediocre first-person shooter and a poor attempt to attract hardcore gamers to the Wii.
It's a game played with jittery controls, repetitive gameplay, bland level design, muddy graphics, constant frame rate tanking, and a shallow storyline that ends with a pointless double ending. It has not aged well at all. It was shitty back then, and it's even shittier now. But there is one glaring aspect where this game outright fails to capture the supposed hardcore audience, and that is this.
Red Steel for Wii. Rated T for teen.
You suck.
Now, this may sound like a nitpick, but consider this. A T for teen rating implies that the violence is rather tame and very few to no mature themes are present. In other words, this game has no impact whatsoever. As a comparison, let's have a brief look at another so-called hardcore game released that same year. Yup, I'm of course talking about Gears of War, a game which has aged tremendously well all things considered. Now, this is more like it. Buff dudes, huge guns, chainsaws on guns, blood, everything to make this game deserving of its M rating. More importantly, it was games like this which sold the 360, because people undoubtedly wanted to play this, a solid, functioning game with high production value, and most importantly, its greedy portrayal of ultra-violence, rather than that broken piece of shit released on the Wii.
So, is there anything redeeming about this game? Well, come to think of it, it's shitty story, bad acting, Asiatic setting, and stereotypical characters. You know what this game is? It may as well be one of these. A movie in this 15-in-1 compilation that I bought for $8 at Walmart. In other words, it's a fucking B movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those low-grade, cheaply made, poorly acted martial arts action movies from the 1980s. This is the type of game that Godfrey Ho would have produced if he made video games.
I'm sorry things didn't work out the way you planned. You bastard! I'll show you who you're messing with.
Red Steel is a terrible game, and yet I liked it because it's terrible. It's so bad, it's good. I know it's a cliche thing to say, but in this case, I really think it's true. Because you think this game could be good, but no, it isn't. The game designers wanted to make something badass, but it's poor writing, it's terrible characters, it's god-awful controls. It just all amounts to a whole heap of shit, for lack of a better word. And that is why I believe everybody should play this game at least once, just so that they can marvel at the train wreck known as Red Steel.
Hey, did you hear about the mess over at the garage? Some nut job broke in. And this is the best part. With a gun and a sword.
A sword? Yeah, right.
I kid you not, man. Probably one of those freaks we keep seeing around here. They watch them Hong Kong movies and buy those long trench coats, and suddenly they're all badasses.
Whatever. I don't get this crap. Give me a good old-fashioned gangster movie, not this wire voodoo crap.